Hey guys,
Hey.
welcome to the Movie Podium. In this episode, we continue our movie podium with friends with an action sequel with the same make, the same model, and a new mission. And without further ado, we present our next movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Nice.
I love that.
Short and sweet.
Old school, movie trailer voice.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's so good.
The very intro of the trailer is same make, same model, new mission, like Matt said.
I was gonna say, is that the tagline? Because I remember from our last episode,
was.
we were looking for the
Yeah.
tagline.
Wait,
what I
what was
had
the
to
Die
look
Hard tagline?
What was the one that you used?
Oh, something about it'll shoot you through the back of the theater.
It'll blow you
blow you-
through the back of the theater.
Blow you through
That's
the
what it
wall
was.
of the back
The
of the theater.
us kind of
That's it.
stacked weird in
so
the
weird.
phrase. But then we read it right here: 12 terrorists, 1 cop. The odds are against John McClane. That's just the way he likes it.
Yeah,
That's
I like
way
that one
better.
so much better.
Yeah. But this is a great tagline. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
This one says it's nothing personal.
Oh, it's what?
nothing
It's
personal.
nothing personal. Goosebumps.
Oh, okay. I don't like that as much as the same make, same model. Just for a
Better
new
for a
mission.
poster.
New
Yeah.
mission. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. It's shorter for a poster. Well, I'm your host, Matt Scott, and I'm here with my dudes, Eric,
Hi, Matt. Hi.
Cooking with Kevin.
Hey, that's me.
Cooking with Kevin.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
And back for the second time, our guest of the evening, Klarissa.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah,
From 80,
We
from
had to have a
80s accents
sequel.
to 90s.
Yeah, we had to have a sequel.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. So we did Die Hard last episode with her, and it's one of the best '80s action movies of all time. We enjoyed this so much that we decided we had to go back or forward in our journey and check out movies from the '90s action. And later on in this podcast, we're gonna reveal our favorite '90s action movies. Spoiler warning for our podium. But tune in to find out what our favorite movies are. And let's hit that intro and cheers.
Okay. Cheers, everyone.
All right.
Where'd John go? I'd say, where'd John go?
The good old zoom out. So if you haven't already, go follow Clarissa's journey on I've Seen That One on Instagram. She watches a ton of movies and it's very impressive.
Thank you.
How many movies did you watch this week?
Oh my gosh. I actually have to grab my list. I didn't count them. I just talked about them like to everyone who knows me. So if you're listening and you know me, I'm so sorry. But also not sorry. These were really great. I watched, let's see. 9 for this.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Had a
Just
few
for this.
others for other prep, but
Wow,
9 for
that's
this.
crazy.
That's,
I think
is
I
a
hit
ton.
5 or 6. I
nice.
tried to watch
Man.
like one at night.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm
so
super
last-
lucky. I have an office job and I mean, I'm doing school full time. So to also be a full time employee, I stay till like 8 or 9 p.m. and it's just quiet and I don't have anything to do. So I watch a lot of movies
That's awesome.
and I cry and laugh in my office by myself. So.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well,
Sounds
yeah,
like a
thanks
sweet
for coming
setup.
back on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's start digging in.
Also, I think
go
we
ahead,
need
Eric.
to point out that Clarissa had never seen this movie before. This is
Oh.
her first time
No way.
seeing
Solid
it.
point.
This
And
I
then-
had seen the first Terminator and was
Yeah.
really confused because I was like, oh no, he's naughty. I didn't think he was.
Yeah.
He's not.
I was like, what's going on? I thought it
Arnold.
was with me if you want to live.
Arnold, you're so
Yeah.
naughty in that first one. What are you doing?
Are you like someone's evil twin?
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to point out is like as
Yeah.
a viewer watching the second one, if you only seen the first one, you're that's your thought. You're like, wait, what's going on? Why is he gonna hurt her? Is he gonna hurt
Yeah.
John Connor?
He's
That
the naughty
first
boy.
encounter, and then he tells him to
Boy.
duck.
You're the naughty boy from last time.
Well, I really was. My impression was all of the like "Hasta la vista, baby," like everything from this movie. So when I
Yeah.
watched the first Terminator like 9 months ago for the first time, I was so lost because I was like, "He's
Yeah.
trying
Okay.
to kill her this entire time." So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
where's this whole "come with me if you want to live"? It's more like "come with me if you want to die." So
Yeah.
I have the story straight now. It's been clarified.
Now it makes sense.
I'm sure we'll get onto that point
Yeah,
later.
Reese says that line for the first time in the first.
Yeah,
one.
well, it's really interesting, and I think it's a good thing to talk about. Is a lot of times nowadays when you watch a movie for the first time, you already know the canon behind it, and so it's like if we were watching Dune 1 and 2, and then we see Dune 3, it's for the first time everybody's seeing it. But now we're watching Terminator 2 that's been out for almost 30 years, and you're like, or it has been out for 30 years, and it's like, wait, I already know what these references are, and so you already have a reference point. So it's weird thinking back then that nobody knew he was going to be a good guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like their first time seeing this, they would have been just as confused.
I know, that's what's crazy to me. I don't really remember that time because we were pretty young.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember if I watched this one first or the first one first.
Yeah,
They
I
just
feel
kinda
like I saw
jumbled
this one
together.
first.
Oh,
yeah.
you were
I was like, I'm a 99 baby. So.
Yeah.
99.
No,
oh,
no,
Oh,
my.
you're just a baby then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
You are.
sweet.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
alive, but not old enough for rated R movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're never old
No,
enough to
still
ask your
not.
mom.
Yeah.
Your mom would say you're not old enough now.
I tell her, Mom, I watched Terminator 2 last night. She'd be like,
I thought I raised you better.
All right, let's get into some random ass facts. So this got an 8.6 on IMDb, or Thor plus 1.6. Very high. One of the highest.
very
we've done.
nice.
Is it
Very
as high as
nice.
you, John?
Dang.
What?
Is it as
Oh.
high as you?
Can you?
Never.
Can you?
That's a little loud. I need to adjust that.
No, crank that.
I was like, I completely disagree with you.
Unless
Right.
the consensus is not, then that's fine. Okay.
No, keep it. Some casting what ifs. Denzel was offered the role of Miles Dyson, and Billy Idol was to play T-1000.
I saw the Billy Idol one. That one just really threw me off
That's-
a little bit.
Denzel,
I'm
yeah,
glad it didn't
right.
go that way.
They asked Denzel, and he said he read the plot or read the script, and told James Cameron like, "No, I'm not into it because the character Miles Dyson is basically just someone who gets beat up and killed. He like didn't like how he was treated, and said I just don't want to do
I'd
it."
have to agree with him.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
In the Billy Idol one, I saw he got hurt and he was on crutches.
Yeah,
or
he got-
something.
I can't imagine
he got
Billy
injured.
Idol doing that, anything
No.
like that.
No,
The only movie I want Billy Idol in is The Wedding Singer.
exactly. Yep.
When he's in the
So
on the
good.
plane
Yeah.
As
and he
himself.
stops Glenn from
Yeah.
from
exactly.
getting
As
to
himself.
yeah.
Yep. That's such a
That's
good-
all I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm just adding nothing.
Oh, I agree. Another one is in the first 3 minutes of Terminator 2 cost more than the entire budget of the original Terminator.
Whoa.
Oh.
I did not know that.
That so the first 3 minutes. That's the like future, right? The
The
future
CGI.
war. Yeah.
Yeah. Future, the set, the CGI, like all of that apparently costs more than the entire
Human
Terminator.
skulls being crushed. By
The Terminator
Yeah.
just crush.
they had to kill a lot of people for that scene. It was
It's a lot of time, really
Yeah.
blowing those up.
They had to pay people a lot of money to let him kill them.
There's a
like in the
random
name of
one.
Terminator 2.
Yeah, life
I
insurance.
mean, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
There's one I want to add to that since we're talking
Okay.
about it. I didn't even type
Sure.
it up, but I remember reading it. Is that the effects person that made the skulls for that opening scene? He was told or asked to make 6 skulls for that scene, but knowing how much of a perfectionist that James Cameron was, he made 26. And James Cameron ended up using all 26 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, that tracks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll make 6, and then like just have them in the background, like the back burner. Like this is my backup right here.
That's like
Yeah.
Peter Brand and Moneyball. You asked me to do 6-player analyses. I did
Yeah.
6.
That's right. Yeah, that's a great reference.
I got
Let's
one.
see what else I have. What, John?
I got one. It's
Oh,
not
go
very
for it.
cool, but here it is. I just
All right.
noticed in the credits that they had twin brothers playing that like Lewis security guard that gets a full house on a coffee cup and gets.
Yeah,
Oh,
So yeah, they just had a couple twin brothers, so they didn't
Nice.
have to do. I guess
and
it'd
he.
been easier to just
Yeah.
find 2 look-alike dudes for that.
Oh
scene.
my gosh, that's awesome.
That's hilarious. I
Well,
didn't
I have
notice
a
that.
twin fact.
yeah,
have
I
a
do
twin
too, and I
twin
think
fact.
Oh,
You can go for it. You can use the twin fact.
yeah. Does anybody else here know that Linda Hamilton has a twin?
I
No, did not.
They used her twin Leslie as a double when there were 2 Sarah Connors on screen.
Oh,
So the good example was at the very end where the T-1000.
Yeah.
way cooler
shame.
twin fact.
If you have more to add on that one, Klarissa, because I'm assuming that was it. I'm sorry if I stole that from you.
No, that was it. Honestly, I think it's so cool. I had told this to my husband, and he was like, so they basically said, the one that's not as popular, we're gonna blow you up and do all this stuff. And I was like, I actually was like the full stunt double, but like, it was really fun.
Yeah,
Wow.
when I heard double, I thought you meant stunt double, and I'm like, oh, that's cruel.
They were like, blow her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. And we did
look a lot
Dante's
alike.
Peak.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did Dante's Peak recently. I didn't even see that when I was doing that.
Well, I mean, there's
research.
no like crazy CGI in that where she had to be on screen
That's
twice.
fair. Yeah, I had 2 other facts. I figured you guys might have some other ones. Terminator 2 was delayed 7 years. Cameron wanted to make a second Terminator film almost immediately after the success of the first one,
The
but wanted
success.
yeah, that makes a lot of
Freudian
sense.
slip.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my god! But
This one didn't have a
wanted-
sex scene. I hated it.
No boobs.
The first one does.
That's why the first
No,
one
the
was
second
better.
one didn't. That's why you don't like
No,
it.
yeah, you're right. There's no like.
Hey, check out the first one for that.
Dear
kind
God,
of-
yes, that
I'm
first
just
one.
derailing this.
But
What were we talking
all
about?
right. Yeah, exactly.
Getting hot in here.
So James Cameron wanted to make one, 7 years prior to the making of this movie, but what happened was that the CGI that he wanted to use was liquid metal, and that CGI, the technology wasn't available at the time, so he had to wait
Wow.
It
until
must have been
technology was
really
available.
shitty at the time then.
Right, and
this
just
well,
like-
yeah,
Is this a classic James Cameron thing? Because that is the same thing with Avatar, isn't it? Like they had to
Same.
wait.
yeah, he had Avatar forever.
He's
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
just
the second
fed
one?
up. He's like, get it together. I'm
Yeah.
sick of pausing my
No,
movies.
the first one. Yeah, exactly. No,
Technology
Avatar,
moved
the
quicker.
original.
Oh, he
took
had the-
forever to make.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
That's
had
so
the idea
wild.
for Avatar for like 10, 20 years, something crazy.
Yeah.
But
That's-
just couldn't make it yet. Like he
That-
has some, which is cool. I mean, it tells you how much of a vision he has. You know,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah.
he can think
Super
of things
admirable.
like, "Hey, I want liquid metal robot to show up, but I can't show it yet." Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how to even think of that.
And then,
Yeah,
but
so it was
and then,
like,
like-
he. Go
sorry,
ahead. Eric.
no, you go ahead. Kevin.
I would say he released the Abyss earlier using similar effects, And then after that, like he realized it didn't quite work in that movie that well, but he's like, this would work for this idea. And this, I think that came out in '88 or something. So 3 years later,
88, 89.
yeah, there was enough.
That's so fun. I did not know that. I was obsessed with The Abyss when I was younger. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so it was
That's a
exactly
good
like
movie.
he pulled that tech from learning from that into this movie to make it work for this movie
Wow.
from
I
that
can see
idea
that.
he had.
With like the little water
Yeah.
thing that like sneaks
Yes,
in, like makes
yes,
it-
exactly.
Yeah, there's like an alien that's it's a hidden
Yeah.
gem. The Abyss, I feel
It
like.
really is. That's another one I rewatched a lot in 5th grade, next to the day after tomorrow.
Oh my god, the day after tomorrow. That's awesome. And then the other one I'll throw out there is they had to refilm and do a lot of work with Edward Furlong's scenes because he was 13, and as we all know, when you're 13 you go through puberty, and he grew a lot and his voice got deeper, and it was pretty noticeable by the end of the movie, and so they had to kind of rework some stuff there.
Yeah, it was even with his
Yeah.
height that I read that they had,
Yeah,
he had
well,
to
it's-
actually
yeah.
change his height on different
Well,
things.
Right.
They put him in a hole.
Yes,
This
yes.
fact I found.
Are you
that
serious?
He had to stand in a hole in the ground in order to maintain continuity and height difference with Linda Hamilton.
Whoa. Now
Yeah.
that's James Cameron being particular. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if
Yeah.
I'd notice that if you hit the right angle.
No.
Unless
Well,
they
like they're
unless he was
jumping around
taller, I
so
don't know.
much.
Yeah.
Unless if he went from like 5'6" to 6'6", I'm gonna really notice.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. John
being
did that.
detailed-
John went
Good for you,
from
John.
what 5'5" to 6'1", and maybe
Yeah,
2
8
years,
inches
a
I
year or
grew
two.
in height, 5'5" to 6'1".
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can see it, I guess, but still, 13's pretty young for that. But yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was crazy to like redo some of that because he went through puberty.
Yeah, it makes total sense that it would have been him in reference to Linda Hamilton, because that's where you would really see a difference.
And
Like,
she's kind of short.
yeah,
I
I mean,
feel
him
like.
against Arnold, you're not gonna notice.
No, agreed. You guys have any other facts?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention it. The Oscars. This was nominated for six Oscars, and it won
Oh, wow.
4. And
Oh, it did. It won 4
Which
Oscars.
ones?
it won 4 Oscars. It was nominated but didn't win for best cinematography and best film editing, which actually JFK won both of those. And then it won for best sound effects, best visual effects,
course.
and best makeup.
Okay. Visual. I mean, clearly.
So,
Yeah.
when I saw that six nominations and 4 wins, I'm like, what the hell did this win?
Yeah.
This is the same year that Silence of the Lambs came out with a lot of wins
Right.
this year. And that
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say
and then
Silence of the
JFK.
Lambs
Yeah.
won Best Actor, Best Director, I think, and definitely Best Picture all in the same year. One of those trifectas, the rare ones.
And then we had talked about the CGI, but this movie is known for a lot of the breaking CGI everything. But there was a lot that wasn't, and like including like a lot of the vehicle stunt scenes, including the helicopter going underneath the bridge, was not
Yeah,
CGI.
it was real.
It was
That's
real.
insane.
And like,
Wow.
and I saw the film crews actually refused to film it, and because how dangerous the stunt was. So James Cameron actually filmed the shots himself twice.
Really?
Once in front of the helicopter and once behind the helicopter, and that's how they got those shots.
And you could just hear him be like, "I'll do it myself. Here I go. This is important to me."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was and you can tell it in the film. It's like that's obviously real. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one that wasn't even them going under the bridge that made my butthole pucker, which was when they're about to go under, and at the last second they don't go under,
oh yeah, go back up and
they
then,
go over.
Thank you, John.
Love it.
Thank
a
you,
great
James
description.
Cameron, for bringing that to me.
Any others?
oh shit, I have 3 more.
Oh my god.
Just a small random one is
Kevin, like,
Kevin, do you like this movie?
I do. I like this movie.
Write a book on it.
The
Okay.
Arnold's shotgun. The sound of Arnold's shotgun being shot is actually the sound of 2 cannons. being fired.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. When I was watching that, I was like, that shock. There's no way that shotgun sounds like that big in real
That's
life.
Hollywood, baby.
Yeah.
Cannons.
I didn't even question it. That's a gun. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Big scary robot. Ah!
Well, speaking of the cannon or the gun thing, wasn't it Arnold practiced that like rotating the gun move so much that he like built calluses or like cut his hand open
Yeah,
because he was doing the same move over and over again.
I saw he tore up his fingers and all that. 'cause
Yeah, tore him up.
I did
Wow.
read that.
That is pretty cool.
Then
I'll give that to him.
I have a salary one here that Arnold was paid $15 million.
Yeah, I saw
for
this.
his role in this movie, which averages out to $21,429 per word he says in the film.
Crazy. Also, they gave him
Word?
like,
Per word.
How's a girl
And-
gonna get into that business? Hire me.
right.
Jeez.
And they gave him a $14 million private jet.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yes.
For what?
He got a
For
yeah,
funsies.
For what?
Yeah, okay. Wait, they just gave it to him or like he could
Yeah.
use it?
it was gifted.
No, they gave it to him. It was a gift.
Why not?
What?
Was he gonna say no? Was he like
Yeah,
not gonna
right.
go back to this movie? And they were like, "Get it back here."
I don't know. Like,
It's
yeah,
he's written into the script. Like he has to be in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, good for him.
yeah, pays to be 6'4" and monster.
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Universe, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Any others?
I have one more. I'm sorry, Klarissa. I've been probably stepping
Okay.
on some of these.
It's fine. No, you're fine.
But for an Arnold movie, the body count is actually not very big. There are only 2 deaths from gunfire in this movie. And it's Miles Dyson and the mall employee. Those are the only 2 people in this movie that die from gunfire.
Okay.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that threw me off. And there's a back and forth of what the actual body count is implied. If you take away the 3 billion from the Judgment Day thing,
Yeah,
take that out.
Yeah.
that may even be higher than me.
This is a big good girl. Hello.
Can you take me higher?
Not, but they're not killed by gunfire because that's
Yeah.
his whole thing.
Right.
Is like, he doesn't kill him or he like promises not to kill them, but he shoots the crap out of all of them.
Right.
Yeah,
The actual deaths from gunfire. But
Wow.
the body count total, like I said, it's argued, depending if you're watching the director's cut, if the Terminator's count as deaths, but as the highest is 16 is the count. Body count.
sentient.
That's
Sweet 16.
sweet
I mean, do
16.
you count the? Well, yeah, never mind. Okay, that makes sense. That's still pretty low, though.
Which is, it's less than half of what the first movie was.
Rookie numbers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, if
So
you
embarrassing.
exclude the 3.7 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, do you have some?
I have one. I don't know how like great it is, but I liked it.
You're
It's
really
one of those-
selling it here. You're really selling it.
You sound like me.
This is the best random ass fact you'll ever hear. It's gonna get you.
I am so pumped to hear
Gonna
this.
make you pucker.
Okay. John, get ready.
We'll knock the socks off.
They were super nervous about the $75 million budget ballooning up to $88 million. They were going to cut some of the scenes in the studio, and one of the ones they were going to cut was the opening biker bar scene where they introduced Terminator.
Yeah.
And Arnold went to the studio and said only a studio guy would cut out a scene like that. Like not anyone else. It's like it's gonna be noticeable. Like we all know it's gonna be you guys, not us. But
Yeah.
they
Wow.
ended up keeping that scene. I'm so glad they did because it
Oh,
was
it's the
such a great
amazing.
moment.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
and a
so
great
good.
introduction. Honestly, I really liked
yeah.
that bringing him
Same.
into the movie that way, and it introduced
It's-
the bike. Just fun.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous, but in the best way possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Over the top, but it's so necessary. It's so pleasing.
Yeah. It really is. So now just simmer down from that fact. Pull
It
yourselves
was
together.
a solid pick. Not gonna lie, it's probably better than Cameron waiting 7 years.
No, it really, honestly, I feel like that really builds more of a respect for him as a director too. To just
Yeah.
be like, he is so persistent and he knows exactly what he wants, and it
Agreed.
shows in this movie.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
also a brave fact.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, the whole thing about like filmmaking is like there's no like one way to do it. So like you figure out like how to do it along
Yeah.
the way. So the fact that he had such restraint to be like, I could make a butt ton of money by just like half-assing something
Yeah.
or like just, finding another way. But he held on to it for so long. That's actually really, really cool.
Like
Yeah,
he did it the way
agreed.
he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That's the art versus the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
a lot of people talk about like, is film an art form? And it's like, if you're going to take it that way, even this movie, like that's what makes it another piece of art in this film, like contribution, is it's going to stand out for reasons just like that. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Amen.
All right. Time for some questions.
Preach.
Matt, you sound
Amen.
so enthusiastic right now.
I'm
Matt's reading. It's so on my notes. It says time for
That's
some
not-
questions.
That's not true.
So let's get into the questions. What's the first question, Matt?
Favorite thing about the movie? Guest of the night. Klarissa, what was your favorite thing about Terminator 2?
You guys, this is a really, I mean, this question has kept me up for nights, months.
For months.
For months. I really loved that Sarah Connor started out so skeptical of him, of course, because he was trying to kill her or something in the first one. But I really loved that part when she's like got this monologue talking about her son's father figure and how he never had a father figure, and how all of a sudden she's watching him with Terminator, and it's like this is kind of the father figure that he has, and I thought that was just so cool, especially like the juxtaposition between the two movies. That kind of is that moment really is the ticker, and the big difference between the two was like her being able to say that of he is engaging with her son, and I don't know, I just thought it was cute. I really liked it. It was really tender.
And it's such a 180 from, I mean, obviously from the
100%.
first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
I loved that. That was probably my favorite part. It was, you guys know I'm emotional. Cry. Wah, wah, wah. This definitely had a little tear down the cheek.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he is like a little father figure. So I just really liked that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, great point.
And he mentions that a
Absolutely
machine
great
can be
point.
better than an actual human father.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's not false, too, right?
Yeah.
Kind of,
Absent father.
one of the broader points of the movie is that machines can be better than humans.
Yeah, in some ways,
Yeah.
sadly. John, what was your favorite thing?
The parallels with the first movie,
Yeah.
there's probably many I'm forgetting, but like in the first movie, Terminator and Reese show up at the same time, and she thinks the guy that's there to save her is the bad guy. And
Yeah.
the same thing happens in this one,
Yeah.
where John thinks that the guy who's there to save him's the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's the main one, but there's probably several.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch.
Just the way they call back to the other movie in those ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. I mean, that's how you take a movie and make it better in the second, is having those callbacks along with some other things with it. Kevin, what was your favorite thing?
Mine is kind of more vague because you guys know I love this movie. So
Pick
I
one.
Behind you, look behind you.
What? You like this movie?
I was wondering.
Yeah.
But the movie, it literally has everything you want in an action movie, or just in a movie in general. Like you have a solid storyline, you have drama, humor, car chases, explosions, shootouts, stunts, everything you want in an entertaining, awesome movie, and this has it. And I touched base a little bit about it with the. It's known for CGI, but all the actual practical effects in this movie are way overlooked, and there's a ton of them. And, like, even including they rented the Cyberdyne building and built a third floor on that building just to blow it up.
Nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
That's gotta be so fun.
Yeah.
Be like, oh man, I
Seriously.
can't wait to blow this shit up. I'm so pumped.
and
We're gonna make you guys build this just so we can blow it up.
that's what they did.
be good, right?
Yeah, they replaced over 1,000 panes of glass in that building from it. I mean, there's insane numbers of what they did. Even the semi truck at the end, that was an actual truck flipping over, and they had to do that.
Oh,
scene
that looked
twice.
awesome. And
Yeah.
like the way they had the Terminator going over with it looked great.
So I mean, there's CGI integrated into that, but the actual truck flipping over was an actual truck
Right.
flipping over. So I mean, there's a lot of practical effect stuff in here that is just overlooked just because it's known for that. So I just think it is just a really well done movie, top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
on the point of like the story and everything, it is cool that you can watch this like without context of the first one,
Exactly.
but having context of the first one makes it even better.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, for sure.
Completely
Yeah.
agreed.
Sure.
Yeah, completely agreed. Eric?
Let's see. My favorite thing is we talked about it earlier. The way that he reloads the gun is
yeah.
really
That's awesome.
really badass.
It
But
is badass.
But like as someone who just went to a kid's birthday party at an arcade, having $300 to spend at an arcade would be heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
for sure.
My gosh.
that's also my answer. $300. That's a lot of skee ball.
That's
Yes,
a
it
lot.
is.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Catch me at the skee ball lanes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice. I had two things I wanted to talk about real fast. One, just in general, kind of a more vague thing is that it took a cool concept and a good first movie and made it better, which again, sequels rarely do, as we talk about. Now, some of the bigger
Totally.
sagas, like you can argue like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, they did that. But that's a rare breed, right? That's a franchise
That is the exception, not the rule.
exactly.
Yes.
So
Right.
and I think it's done by adding better effects, better practical effects, and also a big thing I think Clarissa kind of talks about is the depth behind everything. So like that moment when we see Terminator and John Connor interacting, it's that you actually have a relationship with the characters in this one. A lot more than the first one, you're just wondering what's going to happen to them.
Mhm.
And this one,
Right.
you're rooting for them at the same time. And you see that character development and you see how they all kind of fit together in this weird, wacky family. And you're like, wow, this is awesome. Like, this is the depth that you're looking for in a second one. And it's rare to be able to do that. So I really like that. And then my other thing, and it's more specific, and it's kind of the same reason or same concept, but I really like the end, and not like the end because Terminator has to get melted. But
Boo.
I do like I like the scene a lot and how emotional it is having John Connor like see that the realization that he has when they have to get rid of Terminator because they can't have any evidence left behind. Like that realization is it. Like that is the depth that we're looking for in a cool movie like this, and
Mhm.
it really packs a big punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also an emotional. I mean, so emotional. He's like I
Yeah.
finally like found somebody that I relate to, right?
His
Yeah.
father, like
Right.
the
I
father.
relate to this guy, and that
Yeah.
finally, and then they have to get rid of him. They have to destroy him. So like that,
Throw him into the
I-
lava.
Yeah, it's hard to beat movies.
Speaking
when they
of,
do stuff
how
like
awesome
that.
is that background, Eric?
Oh,
Yeah, there we
that was
go.
gonna be like if I had another favorite thing about the movie. I mean, I didn't know how to like mention that and be like, you know, that part where he like dies.
Yeah, I know.
It's the
Spoiler
thumbs
alert.
is- I'm
It is the thumbs
sorry,
up.
you guys. It is. It really is a great moment, and I think it's kind of an awesome moment with what Matt's talking about too, with that ending of like he did learn and absorb things in this like life
Mm.
cycle as a robot, and
Yeah.
that is like his
Absolutely.
hurrah of like that's what I'm learning, and like I'm leaving with this last thing that you taught me. So
I
cool.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And it's cool because he talks about in one of the car scenes when he's explaining like I have this programmed into my microchip. So you even understand there's some background to that. So how he's able to do stuff like that.
He's a
So
learning
well
computer.
done.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
earlier
Yeah.
he was asking about why do you cry, and at that scene right before he goes, I now know why you cry.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
so-
good. So good.
Now you're gonna make me cry.
I know. But I do have some bones to pick with that.
The
so
emotionless
that leads
robot's
into-
gonna make me cry.
Yeah, I do have some bones to pick with some of the way things go down or reasoning behind that. So next thing is least favorite thing. So how did John Connor send the T-800 back in time in the first place? If Skynet is destroyed in the future and the time machine is supposedly destroyed after the T-800 is sent back, how did future John Connor capture, reprogram, and send a Terminator back in time if it was controlled by Skynet? And yeah, I had to think about that ahead of time.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know anything of what you just said.
I got lost in that.
You
All I
lost
know
me.
is all I know is the future is not set.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good
Anything
counter
could happen.
argument.
Yeah.
It's just the paradox stuff. If you destroy everything and then you go back to it, how can you go back to it if it's been destroyed?
I
How
think
can you destroy it if you can't go back to it though?
Well, that's the paradox.
it's
Or wait, no. How can it? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I
that's
think
the
it's like
paradox.
the
Anytime you
same
mess
thing
with
with back.
time, I think there's gotta be loose end. There's gotta be things you just have to be like, all right, it's time travel.
I know, I know, and that's always the thing. Like with time travel, and the other thing that always bothered me was why didn't Skynet just send more Terminators back in time?
Yep. I thought
Why
about
not
that
just
too.
One's
one?
good.
One's
Well, I bet they were
okay.
like, he's a kid.
Yeah, right.
Surely one like shape shifting metal
One of
man
those guys.
can get that guy, get that kid. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This
the-
is
I
how we
mean,
do
as a
it,
big
one at a
company-
time.
I mean, we didn't have much luck on the with his mom, but
Yeah,
but
just-
we have a
Right.
new Terminator
And
model,
Mhm.
same make, same model, different mission, new mission.
and the other thing is why not just guard Miles instead of
Nice one,
kill it?
Dave.
Like, why not just make sure Skynet survives or happens? But whatever.
Oh
Those
wait,
are the
what was that
paradoxes
one?
of
Matt?
time travel. What?
What was that last one?
Oh, like why wouldn't Skynet just send a bunch of Terminators to guard
Oh.
Miles and just make sure Skynet stays alive? But
Yeah,
again,
he's
these
sitting in
are
front of
all-
like a bunch of windows, and she's just like,
I know,
like,
like-
nobody cares about that guy.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
apparently he's super important.
Yeah.
But those are just the paradox holes that I always with time travel movies in most cases at least.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like the
Pandora's
same
box.
thing with Back to the Future, right? Like,
Yeah,
he
for
comes
sure.
back and his parents are like happy and successful, and he's like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
how'd
my
that happen?
parents?
Oh, if we had Daniel on, he'd be able to argue his way out of it. We had those questions, and Daniel was able to like answer
Actually.
every single.
Yeah.
He's like, actually, like
Ooh.
I don't know. Back to the Future might have a lot of things sewed up, but let's
Yeah.
go with Kevin.
I have two, but I'll go with the easy one. The face licking scene in the hospital.
Damn it, that was mine.
Ah, it's
It's-
so gross. I hate you, Eric.
It's just creepy and weird. It doesn't need to be in the movie. Like I see, like he wants to get a reaction out of her to see, but you don't need to do that.
It
Yeah.
adds to the satisfaction of him getting his head bashed in
Yeah.
with a broom handle.
I think you're
That's
right.
true.
I think that's
Yeah.
it.
It
I think
does.
that's
But
why.
with like 80s, 90s action films, I was honestly kind of worried it was going to be implying like more to come from him.
Yeah.
Go.
So I was actually
Right.
really grateful. It was just a lick, but it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
awful. And you know,
Yep.
their mics and the sound system is pretty clear in that moment. It's like
Yeah.
It's
I can still
ASMR.
hear that. It's gonna haunt me.
Yeah,
ASMR. What is
Yeah.
on your For You page?
Right. That's pre YouTube. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that on AD repeat to fall asleep.
Oh jeez.
God.
You need to-
Oh jeez. John, what was your least favorite thing?
We alluded to it earlier with why Denzel Washington was he the one that
Yeah.
bowed out
Yep.
because of Miles dying. I'm like, they didn't. Did he have to die? I feel like he didn't have to.
No.
And particularly, his son almost sees him get shot right
I
in front of
know.
him, only to
Ugh.
probably find out later, well, your dad did actually die when he got blown up in his office.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm like,
That's a bummer.
that guy could have been like, okay, I'm going to go to work and say we have to destroy all this. Like, did he have to die? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a bummer. Clarissa, what was your least favorite thing?
Massive number one was the lick, for sure. That's really up there for me. That was disgusting. I don't know. I was kind of tied between a couple different things. I think my biggest thing is that she didn't warm up a little bit more towards the end. Like she definitely did start to, and she gave him like this little nod or whatever that little moment is before he jumps into the lava. But to me, I was like,
Nod.
I just wanted it to be a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
warm or something. I was like, come on,
Yeah.
girl. Like he just did
He's-
so much for you
Yeah.
and your son. And it's just
Yeah.
like, little thank you. Now go hop in the lava. I'm gonna throw you on that hook. Here you go.
Right, yeah.
Into
Yeah, but I
the
mean-
lava you
Back.
go.
She's had some hard couple years, I guess, or whatever.
Cut her some slack.
But
Well,
yeah, I
it's
just
cold for
I
sure.
wished that. I definitely, and also because she does, I mean, they do use the juxtaposition of her in the first one compared to this one because she is kind of just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like in the
Now
first
she's
one.
hard ass.
And this one, she's just, she sits
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Total
deadpan during
badass,
the
yeah.
lick. Yeah.
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 The
Anyways, that
lick.
was kind of the one.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just,
could
just
see
a
a little
little
bit.
more. Just a little. I'm like, he's just being so sweet. I don't know. It was one of
Yeah.
those things.
I think it kind of goes
No,
to
I
the
mean,
side
if
of
he
her just
grew,
not trusting machines at all. That's
Yeah.
kind of her
Right.
stance, and that's how
Which
she'll
is
be.
totally understandable.
Yeah, I guess
But, like-
she's sort of become like a Terminator too. So I don't know.
well,
if
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I think is he was if he can grow, then she could grow. That would be
Yeah.
my argument to that. Like I
Mhm.
could have seen her growing a little more from that aspect because she
Just
even
a
gives that.
smidge.
Yeah, right. She gives that
Yeah.
little monologue. Like we understand that she's thinking it. She could have showed it.
They
Yeah.
gloss over right at the end, which is they're like, "Oh yeah, the answer is love and not killing people." Bye. The end.
So they had it. Oh, that was something I read that I did. They actually had a different ending, and it was more happy. It was like them on the swing set, and John Connor had a kid that was a senator or something like that, and it
But
was
that would like end the
Yeah,
franchise, wouldn't it? And there are more.
right, exactly. It was like an
Mhm.
end, and it was a super happy. And nobody, when they had their test audiences, they didn't want. It was too happy. It was like
Sounds like
they
you-
needed to
Like,
just.
boo.
Yeah,
Wow.
Not an action movie type ending, I guess.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
Sarah Connor's kind of embodying the audience here.
Yeah,
Can't be
think
too
he-
happy.
I think he was like a senator or something. John was a senator in that ending.
that's was.
It just didn't
Yeah,
make
John
any
Connor was a
sense.
setter, and yeah, he had kids, and they were on the play set, or I don't know, something like that. Eric, did you have
Oh.
anything other than the licky face?
No, the licking thing. That was gross.
Eric,
Licky
did
face.
you not watch? I'm assuming you didn't watch the extended version then,
No, I did not.
because my second least
worse.
favorite is in the extended director's cut version. The T-1000 kills the dog.
Oh yeah, that's
no,
right.
I don't like that. That is also my least favorite thing.
Oh, that's
Messed
right.
up.
His like foster parents.
Yeah,
dog.
Max. I think
Oh,
they call it Wolfie,
Wolfie.
over the phone, but the
Yeah.
name's actually Max.
Wolfie.
Yeah, it's like, what's your dog's name? Max. Why is Wolfie barking?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so smart. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the line that goes after it, but I'll save that. Next category. Who won the movie? Let's go back to Eric.
I said John Connor because he was able to capture and reprogram a fucking Terminator. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Like
He's
that.
like, this is the perfect tool for the job.
Who has a Phillips head? Give me the Phillips head.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on for 30 seconds?
You know, that just might work.
Yeah. Initialization mode. Who do you want me to terminate? Not me.
It's that simple.
Anyone
the
but
future.
me.
John, who won the movie for you?
I think James Cameron, because I think this was sort of the culmination of what the first movie was like leading up to. And
Yeah.
as some of you have said before, he took his time and made it like very good in so many aspects, like coordinating all the stunts, all that stuff. It was, like Kevin said, pretty good top to bottom, not just
Yeah.
for an action movie, but just for any movie in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I had two, and one of them was James Cameron. If I'm looking bigger picture, like you said, he just made a more epic movie than the first, and like it's, I think his best movie overall.
Ooh.
And then
Got
if
some
you're
bangers.
thinking, yeah, he does. And then if it's in the movie, it's Sarah Connor because she saved the world and got to be with her child, which every mother wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally go within the movie, but like even the people who won in the movie only like got to survive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
still
allowed.
hell. Yeah,
That's how you win. You get
Yeah.
to live.
right. That's right, exactly.
Have a future. Yeah.
Clarissa, who won the movie for you?
Well, when we first went into this, my answer was also Sarah for the same reasons. But now looking at Arnold's income and private jet, I might have to say him.
Seriously.
Like outside
Seriously.
of this movie, he was sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
he did
absolutely
very
right.
well. So I would say in the movie, Sarah for sure, same thing. But yeah, he
That's
kind of
awesome.
killed it for this movie.
Which is really funny because we've done a few Arnold movies now, and he always comes out on top because of how much money he makes in all of his movies.
Good
seriously,
for
like,
him.
I think it was not Kindergarten Cop. It was
Jingle All the
Jingle
Way.
All the Way. He made
20
like
mil.
20,
Yeah.
20 mil or something
I
for a
remember
Christmas movie.
that on your episode. Yeah,
Yeah, we're like,
Crazy.
okay,
A
what?
fifth of the budget.
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
his
that's what it was.
craziest stunts in that movie
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
with his jetpack.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, that's funny
Yeah.
that he keeps winning. Kevin, what would you say?
I actually went with Eric on this one and said John Connor.
Oh, nice.
And I'm actually just plain simple. John Connor, mission completed. And not only did he send that Terminator back to save himself, but it worked. And he learned a lot in his younger self. Learned a lot
Yeah.
after his older self sending it back. So like this whole movie was John Connor's plan, and it worked.
Yeah.
So that's the way I kind of saw that this whole movie.
Yeah, that's a good answer too. I mean, definitely. Next category. Favorite line from the movie. There's some heavy hitters on this one. Who wants to take one?
I only got one. Oh, wait. Clarissa had her hand up first.
I was like, I feel like someone's gonna take it, so I'm just gonna do it. And I only saved I mean, of course, there were the other ones that are just timeless, and there's so many timeless ones, but I just really loved this one. So, and it's
Yep.
been mentioned, but it's the I know now why you cry, but it's something I
Yeah.
can never do.
I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I had
it's
to, I had
so
to jump in
good.
there. I'm like, if
Yeah.
someone has it, you could also mention
It's-
it.
It's so good because
good.
it's the commentary, the social commentary on the AI human thing. I mean, it's not like in your face or anything like that. It's just well said. Just
And it
to the
started.
point.
It's where there was curiosity. Like he wanted to know why earlier
Yeah.
in the movie, and then
And it's not some like 3-page monologue where he's trying to tell you something. Like he just says that, and it's like, oh.
Also,
It
I think it's
embodies
the max.
everything for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
agreed.
Sorry.
So yeah, I think what touched me about it is it's like the maximum amount of emotion that the Terminator can give. He's
Great
like,
point.
Yeah.
I understand why you cry, and it's
Oh,
almost like he's saying, I would if I could.
yeah.
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 Well,
Yeah,
and
that
For
one.
sure.
looking at it, this might be like a little bit dorky, but I'm an English major, and so I'm looking at this and dissecting it with like kind of literary tools, and I'm like, the way that he uses his language sounds formal in a specific way of like, I know now why you cry, instead of like just I get it now, or like something a little bit more
Yeah.
casual. Like it does sound a little
Yeah.
bit formal because that's who he is
Like,
as a
now I
Terminator.
know.
Like he is built
Yeah.
this way. Yeah, like something like that, just a little more casual and personal.
Yeah.
But that is just, and it's even that I can never do. It's not like that I
Yeah.
can't do. It still
Right.
has that kind of formality to it, which makes it.
Yep.
It's a reminder of where he came from, but it's
Exactly.
the words itself and the context are exactly all of his own character development and like technological development in this movie. And so I'm like, what a perfect line to embody him as a whole right before the thumbs up and all that.
No,
Yeah.
that's my favorite line too, for sure.
Yeah.
That was one of my. I mean, that would be my favorite, but I wrote a couple down because I had a feeling that one would be top billed.
Used.
Eric, I'll let yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
I only have one. I only wrote down
Go
one.
for
It
it.
is, I swear I will not kill anyone.
I swear I will not kill anyone.
That's it.
Well said.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
that was a pretty
No, it's like
decent.
somebody's got to do the impression. John,
Oh, me?
No, not the other John.
Waluigi.
So yeah, the "I know now why you cry" was a very good line.
Yeah.
I think one that maybe it's all because of how it was set up for me. It's Sarah. She's in the doctor's office, who was another one of my dislikes. Is this scumbag doctor?
Who's in the first one? Sorry,
What's that?
Yes.
Oh yes,
he's in the first one.
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot about
So he's playing like a tape of her interview before, and she's just going off on him. She's like pushed to her breaking point. She's like, "Don't you get it?" She's cussing him out. She's like, "It's gonna seem pretty effing real on whatever date, and gonna be a really bad day for whoever doesn't have SPF, impossibly high number." And so the doctor cuts it off. And right after this video of her on this just like insane tirade, she tries to convincingly say, "I'm better now."
Feel much better now.
yeah, I love that.
That's so
Yeah.
good. That is a great line to point out for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
better now.
You're just super calm.
That's hilarious. I'll go, and it's kind of the same way. It's not necessarily a great line or anything, but like the way it's set up, and I think that's a lot of lines in this movie, and some of those just stick in my head. And one of them is when he's on the phone and he's talking about Wolfie, which is weird. That
Well timed.
dog just barked.
Dog bark.
Yeah, that's weird. And
Her name's Philly.
That was
Philly,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
Philly.
sorry,
That was Philly,
when-
not Hannah.
And when he's like, "All right, he goes, your foster parents are dead."
Your foster parents are dead.
Just like the way he delivers that line,
Yeah.
like he just knew it. You know what I mean? Like he heard, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, he knew exactly it was
Dad,
the
Dad.
T-1000. Kevin,
Yeah.
That's one I'm holding off on saying, but my first one I'm going to go with when they're in Cyberdyne, and John just goes, "We've got company." Police? How many? All of them, I think.
We got company.
Police?
How many? All of them, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're just bombarded with every single cop car in
All
the
of
city.
them.
They're out there.
There's also Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I figured someone would take that one.
That was a good Arnold.
Oh, it could have been better. I can't lean into it. I'm sorry.
Eric, you're the designated Arnold.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't lean into things.
Do
very
it,
well.
Eric. Do it.
Let's hear it.
What do I say? Do I say my
Hasta la
line?
vista.
I swear I will not kill anyone.
Yes. I swear. It's that.
swear.
Really spelled.
Yeah.
Swear.
The Austrian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one you gotta mention is the future's not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
The future's not set. There's no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's a
So
theme
good.
through
So-
the series of
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in every. I think it's in every Terminator movie actually.
I think so too. Because doesn't Reese say it in the first one? He tells her that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's what John made him say to her, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I also like the line, all you know now, all you know how to create is death and destruction.
All you know how to create is death and destruction.
Mom!
Yeah.
right. And then,
Isn't the same scene I like when John has to admonish his mom and say, I think we need to be a little more constructive here.
We need to be a little more constructive here, okay?
Yeah, that's good. That scene's intense too.
yeah, when they're going into breaking into Miles' house.
I was
and
thinking the
wanting to
same
kill him.
thing, John. Like the kid, like I'm like, oh, so this is hard, cringy, because the kid's right in front of him. You see a dot on his head. Like, how's this go down? You know, like rough scene. But I think it's a necessary part of the plot, and I think he ties that in really well with the whole Skynet thing, because it does bring it bigger picture than just one robot trying to kill John Connor, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Skynet
Yeah,
Yeah.
is
somebody.
the bigger picture here.
Yeah, Skynet's bigger than one person.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I forget
So
who says
having
it in
that-
the movie, but they're like, killing him doesn't guarantee that Skynet doesn't
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
Right. Any other lines?
Yeah, there's
I like
go
one
ahead,
that was
John.
just a lot of things, and the reason why I like the Terminator in this case is I like the non-human perspective, like a Data or a Mr. Spock.
Yeah.
So kind of just a very quick line to just show you what the Terminator's all about is when he almost kills those dudes that are trying to help John.
Yeah.
John's like, "You were gonna kill that dude." Of course, I'm a Terminator.
Jesus, you're gonna kill that guy!
Of course, I'm a Terminator.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That was the
And
line
then-
I was going to say, John.
And then-
Yeah, that's why I held off. I thought
that was-
it would be, maybe someone else would get it.
Yeah, that was my last one. But yes,
Oh,
of
sorry.
course, I'm a
Oh, we're
Terminator.
one other one. I wish I could remember the exact line, but when he's the opening scene when he's asking that guy for his stuff, he's like, "I need your." What does he say? "I need your jacket, your bite, something."
Your,
Yeah,
your
your
shoes,
clothes,
your boots, your boots,
and
and
your
your motorcycle.
I love
Yeah.
that because the guy's reaction just makes it right. Makes that scene.
Yeah.
What's his
Laughed
reaction?
at him. Yeah, so good.
You forgot to say please.
All right, we got two more. Is this a podium role or one of the best three films for any of the top billed cast members? Let's see. Let's go with Kevin. I guess we can just talk about it in general. Sorry,
Yeah.
lost my train of thought.
I mean,
here.
I'll say I put yes for everyone just to make that clear.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah, I
It's
said
a
yes for everyone.
as well.
I did
did
put a
as
top
well.
3 for the top 4. I'll say that.
Okay,
Top
let's
three
start
for
with
the top
Arnold.
four. Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Blew Eric's mind.
Slow down.
1 second.
Hold on. Speed limit's 10 miles per hour here, dude.
So yeah, let's talk about Arnold. I said yes as well. Did anybody come up with a top 3? Kevin, you said you did.
Yes.
Top 3 for the top
What's your
4.
top 3? This is a big deal for you.
My third one can interchange, I think, depending on the mood I'm in. But for this time, I put Jack Slater and also himself in Last Action Hero as my third.
Okay.
Nice.
I just saw that. I did not even know that was a
Really?
movie until
Oh,
I
yeah?
went to look at his filmography, and I was like,
Yeah.
"You're freaking kidding me!" Like this is another '90s. I'm assuming action movie that I
Oh, yeah.
don't know.
Oh,
It's
yes.
good.
Oh, yes.
But I
It is
will be
good.
watching it this week. Don't worry,
Yes,
and
it
then I
is.
will report, Kevin.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's a
It's good.
movie about movies. And again,
Yeah.
like I say, he plays
favorite
himself and a character within
Yeah, of
this
course.
movie.
Yeah, like La La
Yeah.
Land.
Yeah, so
Like-
it's fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
yeah.
I feel like my number 2 have stayed the same pretty consistently. My number 2 is Harry Tasker in True Lies.
Yeah.
I
Okay, yeah.
absolutely love True Lies, and
Yeah, same.
that's my
did
number
to
2.
it.
That's not you didn't get to it?
On my list, but I didn't get to it because I didn't realize you couldn't stream it, and so I was like, I'm gonna put all the rent things at the bottom of the
Nope.
barrel.
Yeah.
Everything that's on a
Yeah,
streaming
smart.
service first.
Oh
but
no,
it is on my
that
list.
makes sense.
My mom freaked out that I didn't get to it though, so that's a
wow.
fun little
It's-
testimonial.
It's good.
There's yeah.
Nice.
It's got one.
Be
It's
like-
got my favorite car chase scene in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm sold.
then- Of course, this is
And
my
number one,
Number one,
Red Heat.
Terminator. Red.
My number 1 is his role as the Terminator.
Yeah. Whose isn't like
and
he's the Terminator.
They
Yeah,
called
right.
him the Governor when he was governor of California. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
That's
known
great.
as the Terminator.
How can you not?
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came up with a list, and Terminator's one, of course. I had True Lies as well. True Lies is awesum.
Yeah,
I
so
think
3
it
can
is
kind
the
of
second best
interchange.
movie. Yeah, and then 3 for me was Kindergarten Cop.
Fun.
Yeah,
Does he do the same move in Kindergarten Cop, lifting up a kid by their
Yeah.
overalls like he does in this one?
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
that's a good move.
The stunts just kind of like overlap for him. He's like, I'm familiar.
Oh yeah, did you watch Total Recall this week?
I did. I did watch Total Recall. Total
That is
Recall
good.
is on my Arnold podium because
Nice.
I have not watched enough. I even said that
Yeah.
to everyone who would listen to me, everyone who's in earshot this week. It was really fun, but I had Total Recall and then Predator because that's the other
Nice.
kind of big one that I've seen.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
is that 80s or 90s?
That's,
this is
that's
just
80s.
rolls.
That's 80s.
This is just rolls.
This is just
okay.
rolls.
I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
mixing myself
you're
up.
good.
Let me take that off my shoulders really quick and stop.
We're in back.
So I've got Predator as well, and then this
Yeah.
is number 1.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Did Eric or John have any input? I mean, Terminators for sure. Do you have
I-
any other movies that we haven't mentioned?
I think my podium would probably be Kevin's. It would mirror Kevin's.
You wouldn't say Batman and Robin?
Or Commando.
That's 4.
That's yeah.
Or Red Heat.
No, Red Heat is
Twins?
not on the podium. It's not even on the list.
I
Twins.
forgot he's in
Twins,
Batman
yeah.
and Robin.
I was waiting.
But Dr.
Yeah.
Freeze or Mr. Freeze is it Mr. Freeze or Dr. Freeze?
It's
Mr.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr.
Mr. Freeze.
Doctor though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
it's-
weird thing.
So Mr. Freeze is definitely number 4. 100%.
For sure.
Nice.
And then we have Linda Hamilton, which I mean, yes, for sure. We talked about her on Dante's
It's
Peak. but I
this
didn't really go
and
too
Dante's
much.
Peak.
I know.
I was gonna say
was
I
kind of-
only know her from this Dante's Peak, and I mentioned it last time. It's coming up an odd amount for me, but Chuck, the TV show.
yeah,
if
and
anyone
Chuck.
watched Chuck, I was like, I've
Yeah.
got to mention it. She's Chuck's mom, but that's
Yep.
a show. It's
Yeah,
not
I-
even a movie.
Right.
So,
No,
yeah,
I don't have
didn't know
her
her for
in
that.
a lot. Pegged
My,
her.
my,
Yeah.
my third is Vicky and Children of the Corn.
Yeah, that was the other one I
Oh,
mentioned.
I haven't
and-
seen that. I didn't know she was in that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, she's like
It's on my list.
yeah, she's one of the main adults in Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
That
good.
sounds like a
Loving it
bad place to be.
Do they spell it with a K or a C?
It's spelled with a C, not a K.
Okay.
And then the C is forwards, not backwards.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Is the R forwards or backwards?
It's also forwards. Sorry,
Okay.
Eric.
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah, wrong line.
can't win them all.
So you're saying it appears the way it does in the dictionary,
Yes.
which is lame.
Oh,
Yeah, the
You
lame
read?
way.
Oh man.
who reads?
We also have Edward Furlong, who grows into being a pretty awesome actor in some of my favorite movies, like Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I
love
forgot
that movie.
about him being
That's
in
my
that.
number one, actually,
Great
because
movie.
he's. It's hard between this one and that one for me because I
That
think
was-
he's got a bigger role in Detroit Rock City, but he's also important in this movie, so I get it. So like, those are really tough for me because of my personal taste on Detroit Rock City. Also, of course, American History X is the other one that's huge for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are my three right there.
Yeah, I think it's.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the kid
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
brother.
the kid brother to.
Heck of a movie.
Oh, real,
They're trying
real
to change
happy
his
movie.
future.
Real
That-
uplifting stuff.
Real curb
Have you
stomping.
seen that, Clarissa? American History X.
No, I actually haven't seen any
Oh,
of the
man.
movies you've named.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Be a good
Send me your
film.
list. I love a list. So send it my
Both
way.
those would be on
While
it.
you're here.
I've been thinking about picking Detroit Rock City for my birthday pick this year, actually.
Oh, that's coming up
That
too,
would
isn't it?
be a
Spoiler
good-
Well,
alert.
kind of in a couple months.
When is that?
Yeah, that was in April.
Nice.
I feel like I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't pick American History X for my birthday. That's
No.
God, please no.
That one's a
I'm gonna
little
sit
more-
out that episode. I don't want to watch
Yeah.
that
It's,
movie.
it's a little bit too depressing and too real at the moment.
But for a
Pick
movie,
something
Oh,
up
yeah.
more uplifting, like Schindler's List.
Well, it's about on that
Okay,
same
well,
level.
I'm really catching a
Yeah.
vibe about this movie. I don't know
It's very
anything
good,
about it,
though.
but I'm.
It's about Nazis.
good.
It's
So-
about Nazis and Edward Norton
Racism
plays the
and-
lead character in it.
Yeah,
but it's
Oh.
very good. We'll say that.
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
No, it's a
really-
good
Love it,
movie.
so.
It's just
It's like
very
a one timer, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
I mean, I
and then
get that
you're-
for
you're
sure.
good.
Yeah.
Who was your fourth person, Kevin? I didn't know anybody else. to
Robert
talk
Patrick.
about. Yeah. What else is he in that would be like that sticks out to you?
I put he's in The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Wow.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
actually- it's pretty good. I
John
mean,
likes
he's not a
that.
main actor, but he's in it.
That's John's.
Who is this guy even?
And then he also
1000.
the T1000. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
he's
that's
the
what I
metal
was
dude.
thinking, but I can't picture
Georgia.
him in that movie. Men Who Stare
He
at
also
Goats.
lived in Cleveland
Oh, really?
and attended Bowling Green.
One of us. All right, I like him much better already.
Really? I didn't know that. I just found that real fast. He lived in Cleveland.
Yeah, the only other movie I had him in was he was Ray Cash in Walk the Line.
Oh.
Wait,
Okay,
you don't?
his
You
dad.
mean you don't have him as Kogashuko in Double Dragon?
Oh. That's
Well,
hilarious.
That's on the
Or-
list too.
Or he's also an extra. Like he has a very very small role in The Rock.
Really?
Is-
I was gonna
he's in
say,
the
I thought I watched him in something else.
he's like a military personnel guy in like a
Okay.
control room when they're talking
Okay.
about
Yeah.
like he's got like 2 lines in the movie.
Yeah, that's a podium
Yeah.
role, baby.
But
Not you, henchman carrying a wrench.
I actually forgot, and maybe this is the wrong time to say it, but I have a random ass fact about him that I forgot about.
Ooh.
Please.
But he undertook a rigorous running regimen to practice breathing only through his nose in order to appear to be a cyborg that could run at high speeds without showing fatigue. So he trained so hard that he was able to catch up to Edward Furlong on his dirt bike with ease through his nose. Good for
Wow.
him.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's
That is
insane.
crazy. Some big Wim Hof breathing there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Hmm. Good for him.
something
All right.
something
So shall
actually
we-
secure
ahead.
this is his best role. in Terminator 2.
Yeah, I don't think it's a question.
He has two cameos in 2 other significant movies.
Wayne's World.
Yes, officers. There's something wrong?
Have you seen this boy?
Right.
Wayne's World, and he's also plays a cameo in Last Action Hero.
Jack! Did you see that?
As this.
Oh, nice.
That's hilarious.
Fun.
That's
So
cool.
there are two
forward to.
cameos as this role in 2 other movies, not related
Wow.
to this role.
That's kind of hilarious.
Is his
That is
role.
funny.
Yeah. That and
Right.
Kogashuko from Double Dragon.
Oh my god.
It's not a great movie, but I love it.
No, it's pretty good.
It's not even a good movie,
One of
but
his
I love
best.
it. Yeah, one of his best for sure.
The video game adaptations is not on my list.
Well, your list is dumb.
Speaking
list,
of
man.
lists, yeah. Speaking of lists, let's go over some final podium questions here. Does this movie, Terminator 2, make your all-time '90s action movie podium?
I bet I
So
know
Beck
Kevin's
already
answer.
guessed. What?
I said I bet I know Kevin's answer.
Dude, I actually, you know what's funny is I wrote down my guess for Kevin's answer. I think I
What are
have
they?
it. Well, I'll wait. We didn't change it. No. Why don't Klarissa
Write
why
it
don't
down
I-
separately so
why
then I
don't you
know.
go first? Yeah, I'll show you.
So similar to 80s action, I really watched a lot this week, and
Yeah.
this was so hard for me. I was in a little bit of a panic. Again, another panic. We love that. But I'm gonna throw out like all the movies that I did watch. Is
Yeah,
that bad?
cool.
Can I do that?
So,
Okay.
go
yeah, like
for it.
outside looking in type of deal.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Yes, I was like, I need to give a picture here, and then I'll have like some honorable mentions. But I watched Terminator 2, and then I watched Die Hard with a Vengeance,
Nice.
my first full Die Hard sequel, which I was very skeptical about, but it was amazing.
That is that the one with
Um,
Samuel Jackson?
Yes,
Yes,
it
that's
was
that's a good one.
so good.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I rewatched Matrix. I watched Speed, Con Air, The Rock, Total Recall,
Hell yeah.
and then the first Mission Impossible movie. And
Oh,
Tombstone.
nice. Dang.
Yeah.
So I got a lot. The ones that I missed, and I was devastated. Kevin, I have to apologize. I did not get to GoldenEye either. I'm so bummed. I looked for a Bond specifically. I was like, I've got to throw it in there. Kevin loves the
Yeah.
Bonds. But I didn't get to it, so it is on my list for this week, and I will touch base again.
The
And I
world
didn't
is
get
not enough is
through-
way better.
Oh,
God,
God, no.
No, it's
Come
not.
over there and
Really?
punch you in the face.
Oh, I
Absolutely.
was like,
Sorry. No.
it's like, I'm available, I will believe you. But I did miss out on True Lies and Armageddon as well. So my podium is third. I have Speed. I am obsessed with Speed, and I might rewatch it a couple times this week. It was
Nice.
so good.
That
It was
good.
so good. Also, I might cut my hair like her. So, heads up. Anyway, and then Matrix.
Nice.
Loved.
Yeah.
I mean, love. It's so iconic. It's so incredible. The
So
technology
good.
for the time, especially.
Yeah.
And just wow, ultimate performances in that movie. And then Terminator 2.
Nice.
First
Oh,
place,
this is number
for
one?
sure.
Number
Oh,
one.
nice.
This is number one for me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was blown out of the water with this movie, and I was like, so we are talking about this movie for a reason. Like, it is so good.
Yeah.
And I just loved looking at it with an eye of, like, we were talking about practical effects versus special effects, appreciating the CGI, the performances. Also, the storyline was so well done. Like, I'm gonna take this moment to really rave about it. But I just loved, like, it was so character driven, which I really love in an action movie. It helps you really root for everyone, I feel like, and that is what I found in all three of these movies. So that's my podium: Speed, Matrix, and Terminator.
Awesome. No, that's a great
I've got
podium.
one question for you, Klarissa.
Yes.
So I know we're doing this because we found out after watching Die Hard that
I hadn't seen it.
that you've never watched that. Yeah,
Yeah.
which one? Die Hard or Terminator 2?
Well, that's freaking rude. So, John, Die Hard is in my top 3 movies of all time. I love Die Hard.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I don't know.
Come back to it. You have to come back. I'll put you on the
I
spot.
might be sweaty palmed right now. I want to say that they're incredible action movies for different reasons.
Yeah.
Because
Good answer.
what you don't have in Die Hard, you have in Terminator 2. And what you don't have in
Mm-hmm.
Terminator 2 with the intimacy of the one building, you have in
Yeah.
Die Hard.
I
So it's hard.
They're very
I don't
different.
know.
So basically, the moral of the story is Kevin, go to hell. How could
Touche.
you?
Touche. I had to ask.
We'll say it for you.
It is hard. But really, I would say that this is one that might creep its way up my list. I already want to rewatch this again, pay attention more to the details that we've even talked about today.
Yeah.
Some of the random aspects, there were things I was like, oh, I missed that. Like, I don't think I
Yeah.
really caught that. And so I do want to rewatch it again and just catch on to more details. So it's kind of the best part about movies like this too, where they put so much into it that you can rewatch it however many times and notice something different or appreciate something different. And so that's
Yep.
actually what I'm really excited to do. Now, Die Hard,
Yeah,
I
this is
basically have
one of those.
memorized. So
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all John does is rewatch movies. John, what was your
Yeah.
top 3?
Nice.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we take different approaches where you watch a lot of movies and I just watch the same one every day
Over and
over again.
that week. I study the hell out of it.
How many times did you watch Judgment Day this week, John?
Not as many because I went back and watched one, and I might have done that a couple times. And then today, when I had some spare time, I watched Face Off, which is a riot.
Yes.
I
Dude,
haven't seen
Nicolas
Face Off.
Cage is unhinged in the beginning of that movie. Like,
He's in that one too?
Yeah.
Nick Cage, yeah.
Nick
Oh, yeah.
Cage blew
Travolta.
up
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
The 90s
Yeah.
were
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nick Cage and Arnold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one
Big
is
fan.
Nick Cage and John Travolta, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Face
they
Off.
trade faces.
Because, yeah.
What's your top 3, John?
Yeah.
So with that, I'll say that's outside looking in. It is
Yeah.
really not a good movie, but boy, did it entertain the hell out of me.
Might not be a good movie,
why I
but it's a
watched
good movie.
It's because I was researching this, and I'm like, man, that's better rated than I really thought it should be. So I rewatched, and it is overrated, but still fun to watch. But my top 3, yes, Terminator is in there, and it's number 1.
Nice.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
Number 2, I have Speed. Maybe it's got a
Nice.
special place in my heart from our doing it on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a nice, quick movie, and I feel like it's like it's got the 90s vibe. It represents the 90s well.
It does.
And then third, I have The Matrix, which I'm not a
Nice.
super huge fan of compared to like the following of the movie, but such an important movie. I feel like it's got to be on the podium.
Nice.
So you two are
Really
the same.
squeezed in there.
Wow.
Like,
We
you
had
have
the
the
same
same
podium
podium.
except
Just-
switched for Speed
Wow.
and
Yeah.
Matrix.
Interesting.
Dang.
There's so
Yeah.
many good ones too. That's crazy. Huh. Good list. Nice, John.
Yeah.
Eric?
Okay. I didn't have any of those. So, no, this doesn't make my podium.
Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't. Number
hurts me.
Lay
3.
it on us.
Number 3, it's a Bruce Willis movie, but it is The Fifth Element.
Oh, yes.
You do know
nice
that.
one. Nice pick.
Please.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Number 2, Rumble in the Bronx.
Nice.
Jackie
I knew
Chan
you were
movie.
going
Yeah,
Jackie
I-
Chan.
I could make
knew
this
it.
whole podium Jackie Chan movies, but I only picked one, and it's Rumble in the Bronx.
Rush Hour.
Yep.
Whole other
I'm surprised as well. Rush Hour is great,
I was
but
that
Rumble
bad?
in the Bronx, you
so
just can't
great.
like see when Jackie came over to the U.S. and they made a U.S. movie, they didn't
Yeah.
let him go full Jackie,
right.
you know. But Rumble in the Bronx is like full Jackie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You got to let
So-
Jackie out.
Yeah, exactly. You can't cage him.
You can't stop Jackie.
Exactly. So number 1 is possibly my favorite movie of the
Oh,
90s.
I know it. I know it.
Will Smith and Bill Pullman in Independence Day.
Nice.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I
I-
thought
I
had
couldn't-
that on there
choice.
for you.
Like,
Yeah.
I went back and forth because I've put that on another podium as well, and I was like, I'm just gonna be predictable, but I can't dethrone Independence
It's your
Day
list.
at number 1.
No.
It is my list, yes.
I didn't
understand.
guess it. So for me, we're predictable.
Okay,
I
cool.
thought Rush Hour, so I missed the wrong Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you did.
I guessed the wrong one.
I'd pick Mr. Nice Guy over Rush Hour.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know personally, but I like Chris Tucker. So that's
Yeah,
why
Chris
I-
Tucker is awesome. Yeah.
All right, I
You got him
won't
in
guess
Fifth Element,
Kevin's.
so you got him on there.
Yeah, Fifth Element's great.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Good point. All
Ruby
right.
Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't guess Kevin's because I don't want to ruin it, but I'll laugh if I get it right. Kevin, what are your top 3?
Should I even mention all my outside looking ins?
Yeah.
Give us a couple.
I have a few. A couple Arnold Schwarzenegger ones that didn't make it. Last Action Hero and Total Recall. Definitely notable. Definitely worth watching. And
Yeah.
I actually put a couple other Will Smith ones on here too, Eric. For
Bad Boys.
didn't make it in. Bad Boys is it's an honorable mention, and also Enemy of the State or Enemy of the State. Sorry,
That's a Blink-182 album.
Blink-182 reference. Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman. I think that's a good one.
Hackman.
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 I think there's Three Kings with George Clooney. I think that's a notable mention as well. Universal Soldiers, a good Van Damme movie. And then there's a good
The Van Daminator.
Van Daminator. There's a good Stallone movie, Assassins. I don't know if you guys have watched that. I think it's a lesser known movie.
That one I have not.
Stallone and Antonio Banderas is in that one. But my top 3, my third is True Lies.
Already,
one.
there's fucking
One
2
for
Arnold
one.
movies on this podium of the 90s.
That's what my number
one
2
for
is,
one.
guys.
1 for 1.
Terminator 2.
No, that's my number 1.
No.
That's what my number 2 is.
GoldenEye.
It
I
is
was gonna say
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Number 2 is
Nice.
GoldenEye.
I got it.
And my number 1 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Matt got it.
Love it.
I'd
That
like
is
to
my top
congratulate Matt for getting that
Go-
100%.
I will say I said Goldeneye is your third.
Yeah, I had to
went
go.
Goldeneye, True Lies, Terminator.
Yeah, GoldenEye is a top 3 Bond movie, so it's
I
definitely
knew
a
you were
top
going.
3 action movie of the 90s. And
Nice.
but I was waiting. I knew you. I could tell you were just waiting for me to get done with my outside looking in list because God damn it, that's too long. You just listed like 10 movies.
No, I mean, I kind of figured those were going to be yours, so that's. But
One that I'm trying to
choice.
watch that's outside looking. I've not seen it in a long time.
It's been a while,
Oh,
Eric.
shoot. Sorry.
But
It's been a while. You can't just spring it on me like that.
yeah, The Fugitive is one I want to rewatch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so good. So
Great.
good. I didn't even think about that one.
Wait, is that Harrison?
Dr.
Ford?
Richard Kimball.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Tommy Lee Jones is the guy chasing him.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
don't
great.
steal my movies.
It was the one-armed man.
Just kidding. I just wanted to see
Oh.
John's reaction to this. Let's see if I had any outside looking in. So you didn't mention. I really like Blade. I always liked
Yeah.
that one
Yeah, Wesley
growing up.
Snipes.
I also had Con Air as outside looking in.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very painful not to put it on my list. I'll be honest. It is
Great
insane
one.
and
It was so
ridiculous,
fun.
but it's
Yeah.
fun.
It is good.
It's
It
such
is
a
good.
blast.
How many Nick Cage movies are on your podium?
You know, 0.
Oh,
Oh,
I was afraid of that.
Oh,
I thought I
know.
knew you.
No.
They're all
I thought we were
good.
friends.
I know, right? I thought I was. just friends
How
with
could
Nick
you?
Cage. My number 3 is Terminator 2.
Ooh,
3.
nice.
3.
It's the best sequel of all time, but there's 2
Yeah.
movies to me that are better action. One's more. Actually, I think there's only one better action movie in the 90s. The other one's going to be a sentimental pick that you will already know by me saying that. My number 2 is Heat. I think it's the best action movie of the 90s. It's
Fun.
kind of more epic than Terminator 2, and I love the cat and mouse game between De Niro and Pacino, and it's got this like LA noir feel kinda, and there's a lot of cool things going on, and there's a million big actors, and they're all great in it. You have Val Kilmer, you have all kinds of people in it that are really good. And my number one, I couldn't say anything but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No,
I knew you were gonna say it. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I
Good.
mean, I got Leonardo in the back. We watched it on Friday. It still holds up, I have to say. The costumes
It does.
that they wear are believable. The fight scenes and that final battle against Shredder. It's sentimental, but
I get it. I get it. I get it.
It's a
I
big
get it.
fan.
It's your list.
It is such a great movie. Yeah, it
It
is.
is. And it's
Totally.
not too cheesy. Like, it fits well. It's dark. It's gritty. It's got that New York City feel. So those
But
are
it's
my three.
fun at the same
It
time
is
because
fun.
TMNT are fun. So
Yeah,
yeah, I like that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
They're
I
teenagers.
get it.
Yeah. But Terminator
Raph
2,
didn't
it
look
was-
like a teenager when he was in that fucking trench coat with a hat,
Yeah. And he laughed
being
at
all
critters.
sulky.
Critters, where are they coming
Going out
from?
at night.
Oh my god. All right, well, that about wraps it up. Thanks again, Klarissa, for coming on. We had
Yeah, thank
such
you.
a blast. And
Yes, thank you.
so
Oh,
pumped that we
anytime.
talked about some 90s action movies.
Yeah.
Like, this has been fun for us too, I think, to be able to go back and watch a whole genre like that. I had a fun time this week watching Con Air again.
Oh my
I really
gosh.
did. It's
Again,
That was a
pacing.
hoot.
It was.
Hey, you got Steve
Yeah.
Buscemi in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great.
Yep. Yeah, so thanks for hopping on with us again. Again, if you haven't followed her on I've Seen That One before, or I've Seen That One on Instagram, go follow her later.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Yeah, thank you for being back. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Pleasure.